Hello and welcome to this CNBC-TV18 Special. Today we have Fertiliser Secretary Arun Singhal with us, and especially at this time when global tensions are building up a huge pressure on fertilizer availability, prices are soaring. There are a lot of challenges that the fertilizer department is facing, and Mr. Singhal has been driving that the entire sector so that the challenges are well addressed. Very warm welcome, sir.
Thank you.
So when we talk of fertilizers, something very clearly that we see is happening for the first time in this financial year is the subsidy burden. We've seen that already 2.5 lakh crore rupees is something that the government is putting in, and increased fertilizer subsidy bill is a cause of concern when it comes to North Block, when it comes to South Block. Both have been wary of this, and this is something where India is trying to deal with this challenge by increasing production. So what do you think would be the final figure when it comes to the subsidy burden for this fiscal? We still have Rabi sowing left and that requirement left.
You know, we make estimates. That is a very difficult question to answer because prices are volatile and they continue to be volatile. So every time we import fertilizers, we get it at a different rate. And similarly, even for indigenously manufactured fertilizers, urea is made using gas. You know, the prices of gas fluctuate. Similarly, we have to import rock phosphorus or phosphoric acid for making phosphatic fertilizers. There again, there are fluctuations in price. So it's very difficult to give you an exact figure as to how much the subsidy is going to be. But yes, it's going to be above 2 lakh crores. The figure of 2.5 lakh crores has been mentioned by some people. So that is the kind of demand we've been making. But I'm very happy to say that whatever we require has been given to us so far by the finance department, and the government of India is fully, completely committed to ensuring that farmers get all the fertilizer that they require at very reasonable prices. That commitment is being met and will be met in the future also.
So when we talk of the subsidy burden, I'm told that this burden is likely to increase to about 3 to 3.5 lakh crore rupees. Is that the correct estimate? Do you think it will inch above 3 lakh crore rupees? Because that means a huge burden on the budget estimates as well.
As of now, we don't think so at all. The prices, in fact, have started softening now. For instance, DAP had gone up to $900, above $900. Now it is less than, it's around $750. Similarly, the prices of urea had also gone beyond $900. They have come down now to about $600. So there is a softening of prices now. As far as phosphoric acid, rock phosphate, everything is concerned, there is softening of prices. So I don't think we are looking at 3 lakh crores. That is not the kind of figure we have in mind.
So it will be well contained below that only?
I hope so.
Yes, you're right. That should be our hope. When it comes to demand outlook, how do you see the demand outlook, especially considering that there's a huge gap between demand and supply? We import a lot of our raw materials and fertilizer inputs and then convert them in fertilizers and distribute to the farmers.
You see, when we talk of this, we talk of urea, which supplies nitrogen, and then we talk of phosphatic and potassic fertilizers. The scenario is different for all of these because in India we do not have potash and we do not have phosphatic raw materials. Since we do not have mines, therefore we are bound to import phosphatic and potassic fertilizers. That would always be there. There is no potash source in India, therefore MOP would always be completely imported. On the other hand, if you look at phosphatic fertilizers like DAP, NPK, there again, even if we manufacture indigenously, then the rock phosphate has to be imported or the phosphoric acid has to be imported. So there the imported content is almost all the phosphatic fertilizers also. So potassic and phosphoric fertilizers would continue to be import dependent. That is a given. We can't get away from that. But when you talk of urea, the situation is different. The consumption of urea in the country is about 350 lakh metric tons today. And out of that, now the government had taken a decision to revive 5 units which had been closed down. So I'm happy to tell you that Ramagundam has already been dedicated to the nation by the Honorable Prime Minister. Similarly, Gorakhpur also has been dedicated to the nation. And Barauni and Sindri are starting production now. So 4 out of these 5 are on the verge of commissioning, or they have already been commissioned. And Talcher will come in about 2 years' time. So these 4 plants are each of 12.7 lakh metric tons capacity. So together they have added in excess of 50 lakh metric tons. When Talcher also comes, we'll have more than 60 lakhs added. So that today my capacity stands at 283 lakh metric tons of urea. That is the installed capacity. And these plants are capable of producing something more than the installed capacity. All of them in the past have been producing more than the capacity they are assessed at. So there's some production beyond the assessed capacity, that is about 30-35 lakh metric tons every year. So these plants today are in a position to produce about 310-315 lakh metric tons of urea, as against the total demand of 350 lakh metric tons. So we are almost there. It's not that we are very
what
heavily.
What is India's requirement and how short are we falling?
So when we look at the requirement of urea, we have to keep in mind there has been a technological breakthrough in the form of nano urea. And one bottle of nano urea is equivalent to one bag of urea.
Yes.
So it's a huge thing for India. If we can reduce our consumption of nitrogenous fertilizer to 1/100th of what it is today, it will be such a wonderful thing. So if you look at the capacity of manufacturing nano urea, by the year 2025, we will be manufacturing 44 crore bottles per year. That is equivalent to 200 lakh metric tons of urea.